First, William, please.
Okay, thank you, Lida. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining this. I believe the recording has started, so this session will be available on the YouTube channel of NIT and Ingram. So I'm going to speak today about the My2N cloud. It is not a topic I speak too much so far. Because it's not because it's not a product I believe in, but just especially for Egyptian market, it was not available, but it is just something that needed sometimes still to be fully, needed. And I believe right now the market is completely mature in all Africa and Middle East for such product. So for those who don't know me, there might be some. I am in charge of the whole Africa end-to-end. And right now, this, I believe, webinar is only for Middle East and Africa, but this product, the My2N Cloud, is really something we have worldwide for, I think right now, a little bit more than 6 years. I think it was the first implementation of our cloud was in 2016. So it's not a brand new product. It is something we've had for some time, but it is just something we've been evolving all the time. And now it has really raised like it has brought like a lot of attention on it and a lot of interest on it. So before I go into the cloud, I just wanted to remind you of who is 2N and what we do in 2N. The first thing that you should know is we are a European company. We are based in Czech Republic. 2N has a bit more than 30 years of experience into telecommunication. That's where we started, and then we quickly moved towards intercom and access control. And our cloud was introduced in 2016 as a complement of our intercom range. Back then in 2016, cloud was still not as strong as it is now. So it was kind of a bold move from 2N to go into the cloud. But as of now, it's a very interesting and paying move. And I hope you will take advantage of this. 2N is a 65 million euro company. So if you compare this to the overall intercom market, that places us in the top 5 of the companies in the intercom market. All intercom, together. So all type, IP, analog, digital, all of this. So we are number 5. Obviously, our target is to become number 1 in the world in IP intercom. And that is something which, looking at the numbers, is very much doable. We've got 380. I think right now we've got at least 400 employees. We've mainly, they are in Czech Republic, but we've got offices in Dubai, in USA, in Asia, in Europe, everywhere. And we are part of Axis. So Axis, I'm sure most of you know them. They are the leader in IP camera. 2N is the leader in IP intercom. So the combination goes really well together. And if you are wondering, inside Axis is part of Canon Group, and inside of Canon Group you have My2N. So if you look at My2N, Axis, 2N, and other brands like Briefcam, for example, so all of this allows you to do a good system of compatible brands into physical security. This is the product group that we have in 2N. Some things really to remember about the products in 2N is that it's purely based on IP technology, only 100% IP technology. It is standalone, so every product that you see here can work alone if you put a power supply on it and if you connect it to a IP network. It can work alone. There's no need for controller, for server, for I don't know, whatever you want, extra boxes or whatever. This is not needed. And it is open for integration. So even if they are standalone, in some cases, you might want to do a bigger project with bigger integration. And in this case, we offer you this capacity to do this kind of integration. So from the very simple project with standalone product to the very complex project with like multiple integration in CCTV, for example, in PBX, we can cover it with our products. So you can see here we've got 7 type of product line. If you have to remember only something, would be the first line, where we have our own IP access control, standalone readers without door controllers. We have our own intercom range. This is really our flagship products in 2N. We have our own answering unit range as well. So even if we support protocol like SIP, which allows us to integrate with IP telephony, for example, for some projects, it is better to have a dedicated answering unit, just like what we have in our portfolio. And we do have as well cloud services, which is the topic of this presentation today. On a side note, we've got as well IP audio for paging, lift system, which are a completely dedicated business unit in 2N. With this, you can provide communication into the elevator shaft for the lift. And telecommunication is our, let's say, primary business in 2N back when we started the company. And it's mostly right now gateways and NPBX that we have. So really keep in mind the first line of the product, the access control, the intercom, the answering unit, and the cloud services. If we want just to focus on the real two main physical product on the building, physical security product on the building would be the access control and the intercom. You've got in access control, you've got the access unit 2.0 range, which is a very metallic design product made for outdoor, very versatile as well. You can combine access control, for example, card, Bluetooth, RFID, keypad very easily. We've got as well the new access unit M, which is the last design we've got. It is a little bit more classical design, but still you've got a lot of good functionality like Bluetooth, RFID, keypad. It is basically the same as the Access Unit 2.0, but in a more basic design, more classical, a little bit more cost effective as well. In terms of intercom, we've got the new flagship, which is 2N IP style. The 2N IP style is what you can see in the picture here. It is really try to take my laser pointer, yeah, the IP style here. It is really the one of the most let's say complex intercom there is in the market. The most powerful intercom as well. We are equipped with the Axis processor, full HD camera with WDR, with full 10-inch display. It is really a very good device, a really nice intercom, something you will never see anywhere else. And then we've got as well our IP Force, which is the strongest intercom on the market, and IP Verso, which is our original flagship product and still the most sold product right now, with the like a camera, microphone, and a very versatile device. So in this case, you have a combination of module, which is display, fingerprint, Bluetooth, but you can basically do whatever you want with this intercom. If you want to have buttons or fingerprint or card reader or anything you want, we have a module for that. So with that in mind, it means that we've got access control and intercom product to cover nearly 100% of the project. If it's a commercial project or if it's a residential project, if it's, I don't know, a school, office, apartment, villa, I don't know, an industry, for example, like a factory, we've got everything to cover this kind of projects. And today we're going to speak about My2N, because My2N is our cloud solution, and it is where you can connect all these devices if you wish to. And I'm going to explain you exactly what we have in My2N, what we've done, and what kind of services you can have in My2N. So the My2N cloud, just to get back on the history, My2N was introduced in 2016. It is clearly the biggest software project we've done in our history. You know, we are a hardware manufacturer, but hardware does not work if there's no software. So we've got our own OS inside our devices. We've got our own PBX. We've got multiple developments, but the My2N software is one of the most complex and most like biggest projects we've ever done. Basically, we've built a scalable cloud system, meaning that the way it is now, it can evolve to adapt to the market needs in the future, and we can add bricks and layers to this cloud to make it like it's written here, to make it future-proof. You know, all of our devices can be connected to our cloud, and as well third-party devices, for example, IP telephony, smartphone, tablets. These can be connected to our cloud as well. right now we've got most of our R&D, not most, but 25% of our R&D budget, which is into the development of our cloud. So it is a big thing. It is evolving a lot since 6 years. The evolution of My2N cloud has been tremendous, and there is a lot still in the backlog, in the pipeline of things we want to add to make it really the biggest cloud into intercom and access control. So there are three core values of the My2N portal: the reliability, the performance, and the security. So it's not a new product, as I told you. It's been 6 years we've got it. So we've worked over the 6 years to improve these 3 points. First thing is reliability. You can see on the right side, this is not the interface of the cloud. This is the interface of our cloud manager. You can see exactly everything that's happening on the cloud. Even me, I have no idea exactly what it's showing here. But basically what we do in 2N is we are monitoring our cloud um, every second, every minute to make sure that it's working properly, to make sure that every brick of the cloud is working properly and that the cores and whatever is happening on the cloud is going to work. At the end of the day, we are talking about devices which will be installed outdoor and which are safety and security devices. So it needs to work 100% of the time at best. So we've got monitoring happening all the time. We've got quality assurance as well, testing happening all the time. We've got architecture as well, design that allows us to balance the load between the services, So this is not just a beginner level cloud. It's really like a professional cloud where the load is actually monitored constantly to make sure that it is actually well balanced. And you're going to see on the numbers after this slide, it's pretty important because we've got actually a good amount of services running on this cloud. We've got as well a recovery scenario. It's a cloud, so it's a computer at the end of the day, so it can fail. So we've got recovery on this cloud. To tell you, you're going to ask us where is the cloud? Where is it based? So we are using Amazon Web Services as a cloud platform. So Amazon is one of the leader in this. You've got also, of course, others like Microsoft Azure, for example, but Amazon is one of the big one, really one of the safest one. So it is really made to last this cloud. Performance. I was talking about load balancing, but we've got 400, and those are numbers a year old. So I need to 2 years old. Sorry, I need to update them. But those are we've had 2 years ago about 400,000 calls a month, and 200,000 of those calls were actually connected. So when we speak about calls, you're going to ask what kind of calls. So we're talking about calls between an intercom and a receiving device, either one of our device, one of our answering unit, or an IP phone, a mobile phone, etc. So 200,000 calls per month with an average call of 32 seconds. So if you make the calculation, you're going to see that's a lot of actually load every day. And this is just increasing every year. I think if I get the numbers right now, it's just going to be even more than this. So this is why we built a cloud that is actually very strong in this field to allow to evolve and increase the load in the next future. We are dividing our cloud into sites. So you can take a site as, for example, a tower. Say you have a tower, you've got, I don't know, 20 flats inside this tower or 100 flats. This tower can be a site. And inside this site, you're going to decide to have devices, which are going to be either an intercom, an access control, an answering unit, a mobile phone, or something like this. So the maximum we've had over there was 332 devices per site at this time, with an average of 5.4 devices per site. So that means that you've got really big sites with 300 plus devices, or really small sites, maybe 1 or 2 devices inside a site. And the average success is 99.98%. So any test call we've done, we do 400 test scores in a month. We've had 99.98% of success, meaning that this service is super reliable. There's no failure, no load, no anything like this. So that was the performance. Now about the security, that's the third point about our key points. You know, we have reliability, performance, and security. Well, it is a cloud, so we've got communication going. It's going outside of your network, so you might wonder what is it about security. Uh, Basically, quality assurance is running all the time. You know, we've got tests, integration tests, penetration testing to make sure that it's working, the services are working, but as well, it is hack proof if you want. No one's gonna be able to hack into it. So we actually externalize this analysis to some companies that actually try to hack into our cloud to find out if there is any kind of failure. Um, Regularly, we patch the software, we patch the cloud, which is why we actually do test all the time. It is based on Amazon Web Service, so clearly one of the best cloud in the world. So not not something that can be easily hacked into. Lots of firewall as well to protect it, and important probably more for Europe, but probably as well for some projects in the whole Africa is that it's GDPR compliant. So GDPR is the law that protects against the theft of identity, and ISO 27001, which is the certification for security of the information. So we are making sure that your information, whatever data you will put on this cloud and you will transmit on this cloud, will be safe and will stay on this cloud, and nothing will be able to access it. So just to recap on the advantages, we talk about reliability, we talk about security, we talk about maintenance. So this is really something we think about long term. This cloud has been thought at the first day about long term. It is not always something easy to design, and usually it costs a lot of money, and it costs a lot of money to have such a cloud. But the future of the whole systems are in the cloud for sure. So right now we've got the cloud to take care of this. Now to get to the services inside the cloud, we've got 5 services: site management, mobile video, residential access, remote configuration, and partner API. So we're gonna jump into each of these services and explain it to you. If you have any question, I didn't mention it, but don't forget about it. I will try to go through a question and answer session at the end. You can write it in the chat, you can write it on a piece of paper, and then we can run through this at the end of this presentation. So the first one is the site management. Inside our cloud, the My2N cloud, we have something called site management. Basically, from our cloud, as an integrator or as a, I don't know, a building manager, you can create multiple sites to manage multiple either building or multiple customers. Say, for example, I have a company of integration. I'm a system integrator, and I have several projects. For example, I have a school, and then I've got, I don't know, a factory, and then I've got, I don't know, something else like a residential compound. Those are 3 different projects with 3 different customers. I can divide these into 3 different sites, meaning that from one platform, I can manage all those sites easily and manage the services which I will show you about. This is really a nice feature to have like an oversee and a bulk configuration of all your devices on all the sites, meaning that you don't need to work about a VPN or whatever. You can access easily every site remotely on the cloud and still be able to invoice each site separately. If you have, for example, our mobile video application, which I will show you later, this application can be invoiced if you want. In this case, you can invoice every customer separately, just the way you want. The site management is a free services of the cloud of My2N. So right now, if you have 2N devices, what you need to do obviously is bring internet to the devices. You connect them to the cloud, and this is free of charge. And from this time on, you can use the site management. What also does the site management? It allows you to create a local network without wires. So take, for example, a compound of villa. Here we've got just a small compound of villa, 6 villa with a main gate here. What you're gonna need to do is, first of all, equip these villas and this compound with devices. So we've got here 6 answering units. This is the 7-inch indoor view, and we've got our brand new IP style at the main entrance of the compound. Now this is a retrofit project, okay? So the villas are still up and running. People are living in it, and no one ever thought about having a communication between an intercom and the villa. So there's no cable in between it. So how are you going to handle that? One option would be to just put cable in the ground, use the ground and put cable. It's going to be really painful to do that. You have to drill the ground, put the cables, do everything. This is obviously not the best option. The best option is to use our cloud to create a local network. What you're going to do, you're going to bring internet to the devices. You're going to connect them to My2N. And then you're going to let My2N handle the routing. So all the devices will call through the cloud to either any other devices or to the intercom or to a mobile phone or tablet, just using our cloud. So in this case, no need for UTP cable, no need for, I don't know, router or switch or whatever on the network. Just connect every devices to internet, connect them to our cloud, and then manage the call on our cloud, just like if it was a PBX, just manage the call on the cloud without having to pull cables. This is really a time-saving process, cost-saving process, because you don't need to put UTP cable, and also it opens your, possibilities, because right now you can also propose this solution to retrofit projects. I know, for example, in Egypt there is a lot of gated communities which are built. They don't necessarily have intercom. So you can bring this to the facility manager and tell them, we can get you an intercom system without having to drill any hole. Just fix the device, connect them to internet, and there's no need to damage the outside and put some cables in the ground. This is really an amazing feature, and that feature is free of charge as well. Just like the site management, this is free of charge. No need to pay as long as you're using twin devices. Now, you're going to tell me, when do we pay? Well, this is where you're going to start to wonder, where do we pay? Basically, most of the cloud is actually free of charge in 2N. We've made most of the service free of charge. The only thing that we are invoicing is when it includes a product which is not 2N. For example, if you have a IP phone, like I don't know, E-Link, Cisco, Avaya, or if you have a mobile phone, like an Android phone or iPhone, or a tablet, same like Android or iOS, those are not 2N devices. So adding those devices to our cloud, we decided to have a cost for this, because we want to make sure that it's not going to get out of control, and at the end of the day, it's an expensive cloud to maintain. So yeah, we've decided that every devices which are not 2N manufactured will have a small fee, but every 2N devices are free of charge. So what we've shown you here on this drawing is free of charge. But if you include a mobile phone, then you have a fee. But the service is just amazing, because from this mobile phone, from this mobile application, you can see who is ringing at your door. You can open the door remotely. You can check if there is any missed calls, who was at the door at which time. And again, simple solution for complex installation. In this case here, if you don't want to use this screen because it's just too complex, then use a mobile phone. It's just a simple solution. It is very easy to use, and this works everywhere. So you don't need to be in your house to have the call on the tablet. You can have a house, let's say, I don't know, in Abuja, for example, or in Cairo, or in South Africa, and be in Dubai, and you're still going to receive the call on your mobile phone. So it is extremely useful services that is available for everyone. And no need for additional hardware. That's a good point. Some brands have such services, but you need to add a gateway, or you need to have the display inside the house in some cases. But in our cases, you don't need to have anything. Just have the intercom and you can use mobile phone. It's fine. So mobile video is one of the service. We provide you with a 30-day free trial license. If you want to try it, feel free to try it. Get in touch with me. I can help you with this. But we've provided as well a different pricing. You can have a per device pricing, which is very suitable for villa or commercial, or a per apartment pricing, which is more suitable for apartment building, MDU. In this case, the price is slightly different. The public pricing, MSRP, is €2 per device or €3 per apartment. What does an apartment give you? An apartment gives you 4 devices. So in the case of MDU projects, it is obviously better to go for apartment pricing because it gives you straight away 4 devices for €3. In the case of a villa, obviously you can't go with the apartment pricing, so you have to go for the device pricing. So it is still, this is a public pricing, obviously. So as an integrator, obviously the price is discounted, but still this is a public pricing, recommending pricing. Another service of our cloud is the residential access. We've decided to move all the access control from residential project to our cloud and not to a local solution. So if you are familiar with 2N products, you know that we have a local solution for access control management, which is called Access Commander. It is still something you can use. It is still a great software. However, when it comes to residential projects, we found out that they don't need so complex access control management system. So we thought, okay, let's move the management of the access control into our cloud. And this is provided onto our My2N cloud. From there, you can manage the resident access credential directly from the platform. We support RFID technology, we support PIN code generation, and next year we're going to have as well the support of the Bluetooth pairing. So right now our Bluetooth pairing involves getting close to a Bluetooth devices, either one of our reader or a Bluetooth dongle. In the future, through our cloud, you won't need to be close to any of our device. Imagine you want to grant access to a building to a new owner. This building is in Cairo. The owner is, I don't know, in London. You just send him his credential by email, and that's it. You tell him, look, you've got access to the building through Bluetooth. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to enter any code or whatever. It is automatically done. So it is really a simple residential simple access credential management. It is not made to create very complex user roles and individual devices management. It is really made to be simple for residential. If you want to make something more complex, we've got our local on-premises software called Access Commander, but the cloud is just so easy. If you have many projects, or if one of your customers is handling multiple buildings, from one computer on the cloud, it can manage all of this, and it doesn't even need to be close to the building. This is just crazy. And this is free of charge, again, residential access. Remote configuration. This is another service of our cloud, the online remote management of 2N devices over internet. This, again, was one of the first functionality introduced on our cloud, the remote configuration. This is very easy. It allows you to remotely configure the 2N devices over internet. So this eliminates the necessary travel of engineers on the sites. You will save travel costs. You will save time with the engineers. I know by experience that traffic in big cities is always a nightmare. If you have to travel from one part of the city to the other, it's just crazy. Just here in Prague, where we have our headquarters, it can take us at least an hour or maybe an hour and a half to go from the other side of the city. So if you take that in account, it's pretty. And if you have the whole country, it takes some time. So online remote management of the device and no need for complicated network configuration. If you want to access a local device remotely, usually you're going to have a VPN, or you're going to have to have like static IP address, I don't know, some DNS routing, whatever. This is complex. This is not necessarily secure because you can make mistakes. Some people can try to hack it. Forget about this. We handle all of this on our cloud, which is secured, and we just give you access to our platform, and you just from here add your device simply, easily, and get this feature online. this is free. Again, this remote configuration is a free services. So actually, I'm talking about a product, My2N, which is mostly free, the cloud, mostly free. So I don't have money for this cloud. So what this cloud will bring you is the possibility to sell way more product and projects to your customer by giving them this flexibility of not having wires, maybe having a possibility to remotely manage multiple management of multiple sites, call on mobile phones, all of this, is a great sales add-on to your customers. So back to remote configuration, how it's going to work right now if you don't have remote configuration. Your intercom needs to be configured on a local network. That's good, but if you are remotely, you can't do that. So if you want to do it remotely without access commander, how are you gonna do that? So you're gonna have some kind of VPN, maybe TeamViewer. So you're gonna have to do a complicated network, with port routing or I don't know, DNS, static IP address, and I don't even, it's too complex. That's too complex. Forget about this. Connect your intercom to our cloud, and directly from the My2N platform, you can see the intercom, the platform, just like if you were locally. It is nothing different than this. It is really the same exact interface. So just saves you time and cost and hassle. No configuration and really full feature. It is not like a limited interface. It is really the full feature interface. And the last services, which still is interesting. It is not probably the one you will use the most, but it is an interesting one. It is the partner API. So basically, it is an API. So what we've done is that we've given you access to the bricks of our cloud, to the laying bricks of our cloud, and we told you, look, we've give you access to our cloud, to the API of our cloud. If you want to use your own branding, your own colors, your own cloud application, whatever, your own mobile application, fair enough. You don't need to use our application. You don't need to use our interface, but you can use the partner API to connect your application, your solution to our cloud. Still, it's gonna have your logo, your routing, your color, your branding, but still using our brick of cloud. So you don't need to, create your own cloud and routing and how I'm going to connect to the 2N intercom, which is remotely and blah, blah, blah. Forget about it. Just connect to our cloud and then our cloud does all the rest. So it's really a very interesting feature to keep in mind, maybe for big projects, maybe for customers that want to have, like a kind of branding application where I can manage all my intercoms and my access control and my mobile phones and everything from their own interface. What kind of services are available on this API? The video calls, definitely. This is one of the big features. Video calls on from the 2N intercom into your own application. Remote configuration. You can use your software to create a communication with our cloud and do access to the remote configuration. So that's also something interesting. Management of the credential as well. You can create a credential on your application, and these are going to be loaded on our cloud. And the monitoring as well. You can monitor to an intercom and make sure that they are fully online. There's no issue. You can upgrade them, all of that using your own application. So it's just like an extra layer on top of our cloud, just to give you the possibility to really customize the functions. So, this is actually, that's an example of how the partner API works. You've got an end user who's going to make a reservation online for a flat. Imagine it's going to be like, I don't know, Airbnb or something like this. It's going to receive from your own server the confirmation code, the PIN code, or I don't know, the RFID card, whatever ID, or the Bluetooth, or anything you want. This server is going to load the data into our cloud, and our cloud is going to say, okay, that's fine. I've got the user details, I've got his code, so that's fine. I will load this into the property devices. And then once the person comes to the intercom, just enters the PIN code that he got here, and this is automatically loaded to the devices, so he's got access to it. So it's a fairly good way of handling rental apartments or rental properties, still using your platform, but having everything loaded inside the device, so there's no there's no loss of communication between this and this, no need to interact or whatever. The administrator is still here, monitoring everything from his own application, making sure the devices are online, upgraded, no issue, and everything. So that's still possible. So to wrap up now, we're gonna wrap up this this presentation, and then you can ask me questions if you got. Back to the 5 services of My2N. The site management, from this you can easily manage multiple sites, multiple buildings from one computer. This service is free of charge. Inside the site management, we can as well say that we've got the possibility to interconnect 2N devices for free without using a single cable. Using our cloud, using internet, every 2N devices can be connected. Imagine you have a gated community. I've had the case one day in Angola. Gated community, it was 1,000 villa. The villa were constructed already, but they wanted to have an intercom system. Obviously, it was not possible to pull cables from the villa to back to the main door, So what you're gonna use? It's very simple. You use an intercom at your main gate, and then every villa has its own internet router, which they probably have already, like an internet router, maybe fiber optic or 4G router or anything. Connect your screen to this router and route the call on the cloud. No need to pull cables for 1,000 villa. Like this, it is so simple and it makes so sense that I don't understand why people wouldn't actually like this. Mobile video is a service where you get the call on third-party devices, mobile phone and tablet mainly. Residential access. This is where you can control all the access of your buildings through the cloud without having to go locally on the building. And this service is free of charge. Remote configuration, it is access to the device and the configuration and monitoring of the device remotely, free of charge again. And partner API, which is here not free of charge because we get you access to the API, which is a pretty large brick of our network. But again, the cost is manageable. And in this case, you get access to the brick, to the root of our cloud, and you get to build your own application using just the bricks of our cloud. So what is the cloud at the end? It's a very sustainable solution, and it's a professional platform. Sustainable because it is a cloud without wires, no need to, travel to locations, so you save on the price of petrol. And I think right now we all have the same feeling about the price of petrol right now. So it's very sustainable solutions. The My2N service is also a massive investment into the cloud infrastructure. I don't want you to get into the feeling that the cloud from 2N is just a new stuff on the market. Actually, it is probably one of the first cloud that was introduced on the intercom market back in 2016. Actually, we introduced it at the same time we introduced our own 4G intercom, which was the first 4G intercom. So it works with a SIM card. And the reason is that because when you have a 4G intercom, there is no physical static address. If you want to access the intercom, how do you configure it? Then we created our cloud to connect this intercom to our cloud to give you the access to a simple platform to configure it. And then this cloud was just duplicated to every 2N devices. My2N also differentiates 2N from other solution providers. Imagine you're facing a project where you've got different brands. I don't know, you can name it different brands of intercom or access control. It is a tough fight. You want to differentiate your offer from the others. You're gonna think about how I can do that. Well, you can use My2N, and if you remember in this slide, actually most of this is free of charge. The site management, the call between devices, the residential access, the remote configuration, all of this is free of charge. So you just tell them, look, okay, you use 2N devices, but when you use 2N devices, you can remotely access them. You can remotely manage the access control. You can even do the calls, expand your projects. Imagine they want to build more villa, but they didn't think about pulling the cables. That's fine. Just route the calls on the cloud. We can easily do it. And all of that free of charge. So this is a very much different difference for you to get out of the whole pack, And also it enhances to end product with new features, the features that we spoke about this, but I would say as well new features because remotely you can see every devices and upgrade them using the new firmware from 2N. We release new firmwares every 3 months, every quarter. Some of them are fixing bugs, but most of them are actually improving new and providing new features. So every year you can get back to your customers and tell them, look, I'm looking at your My2N right now. I can see all your devices. I would recommend going for an upgrade of the devices and you get access to this new feature. And this is free of charge. Or you can decide to invoice this kind of service, and telling them, look, remotely, I can oversee your whole installation, get access to the device, do the diagnostic, do the change, add new users, add new cards, RFID cards, and I can do all of that remotely. But of course, it's like like what we call a service level agreement. This could be into the service level agreement, and you can tell them we can do that if you want remotely manage your devices, and we can invoice that to you for a monthly fee. So this cloud is also a way, even if for us we will provide it for free. You can also invoice it to your customers and tell them, look, guys, why not use our SLA, service level agreement, get the best of the best for a monthly fee. So this is up to you. So new business for you and new integration opportunities using the cloud. So I really wanted to show you this presentation today just for these reasons, because we're talking physical security, but it is physical on the device, but it doesn't have to be physical on the integration and on the management. It can be on the cloud, and it is actually already on the cloud for most of, for a lot of customers. So that's it for this presentation. 45 minutes, I am on time, so I am happy. I hope it was interesting for you. I will maybe look to see if there is any question in the chat. Please ask me your questions. Now is the good time. I see we have now 23 people, so it's very good. Happy to see that more people join. So any questions, anything which was not clear? I'm just going to go through the chat right now. I can see a question. What will happen if internet is down? Can we connect it to local PBX? Yeah, definitely. You can still combine local management and cloud management. Obviously, the cloud in terms of hierarchy is the top one. So the cloud will erase whatever you will put on the devices. But imagine, for example, that the cloud is down for some reason, or internet is down. You still want the internet, the Intercom system working. If the call are running on the internet and there is no local network, then unfortunately there's nothing you can do. But if it's locally, what the cloud will do actually when you have local cables is that our cloud will actually see the devices, but it will also recognize that those devices are interconnected on a local network without the need of PBX. They are connected on the local network. So rather than using the internet to route the call, the cloud is just going to use the local network because it's faster, it's safer, and why use internet if you have a local network? So you can still use the cloud to do the configuration of the call, but the call is going to be routed on the local network. And if you are familiar with 2N devices, you will know that every configuration which is done from the cloud or from Access Commander is loaded inside the devices. So even if the cloud goes down, but you have a local network between devices, then the call still will be routed on the local network without any issue. And when the cloud will get back up online, then you can check, the cloud will get back, check the logs and stuff and get back to its normal, state. Question from Mohammed. What is the maximum devices could be managed on one network? There's no limitation, I would say. Like from our cloud perspective, right now, there's no limitation. If you are using only the cloud and the internet, I don't see any limits. I would say the only limit is that every intercom can have only 10,000 users, which frankly is not really a limit because that means you need to have 10,000 apartments. So I believe if you come to this point, I'm sure that we could find a way, so don't worry about that. As of yeah, so maximum devices, not really any issues. If you are using the case which I was explaining just before that, where you have a local network, but you're still using the cloud to manage them, the limit would be probably on the local network and the quality of the network, if they are able to manage up to 10,000 apartments, for example. But if you have a good network, you know, in general, it would be fine. So there's not really, I would say, if you want 10,000, I would say, but even that would mean that one intercom would have the possibility to go to 10,000 users. It is possible, but that's unlikely. Usually, if you have 10,000 villa or 10,000 apartments, you probably have several towers. What protocol is used for call? SIP-TLS. It's a good question, and it is something. Yes, that's correct. SIP-TLS. It is the right answer. SIP was used originally, but now we moved to SIP-TLS, which is the secure version of SIP. Supported PBX. So if you want to integrate our cloud with PBX, this case actually never showed himself because our cloud is a PBX itself. So it's a call manager. Very not a simple call manager, but the interface that you see is a simple call manager. But inside our cloud, actually, it's our own PBX. It's our NetStar PBX. So if you look on our website, you see that we have a PBX NetStar that we've completely changed and evolved, and it's inside our own cloud. So it's PBX. If you want to interconnect PBX to the cloud, I am actually, it is a good question if this can be done and how it can be managed. I would say if it can be managed, there would be no limitation because we are using standard SIP. So any PBX able to support this is compatible. I would say, for example, any IP phone, whether it's Cisco, Avaya, or Alcatel, or Yealink, or anything, is compatible. Anybody already using it in UAE? I would say probably yes. And are the calls working? The answer is positive. The calls are working. VoIP is normally blocked here. Yes. And actually, this is why right now I'm having this presentation right now, because in UAE and in Egypt, this mobile video application was not available. However, I would like to mention that the cloud management, meaning the site management, the what I was showing you on the presentation. So just get back to this the service slide, this one. So site management, residential access, and showing you the slide now. Window up, this one, yeah. So this slide here, site management, residential access, remote configuration. These that don't require actually are not blocked. So they were working already for a long time in Egypt, for example. Now what we've made available is a mobile video, and it's available for customers to use. And yes, it is working. There are still some changes that will occur to make the service fully automatic. But right now, if you have a need for this, then you can contact your sales manager, which is, if you are in UAE, which will be my colleague Mohanad, and we can help you get it working perfectly. Can we answer the calls via our smartphone in UAE? Any additional license for VPN connectivity required? So yes, smartphone in UAE. I believe it has been tested. However, Muhannad may be able to tell you if it was working, but I would say yes, because it's working in Egypt. Any additional license? If you are using a third-party device, in general, you have to pay our mobile video fee, which I was showing you, which was the device fee. Let's just get back. Oh no, I was sharing. Sorry, let's just get back to the sharing. This is it. Get me back to this. So yeah, so if you are using a third-party devices, you have to pay the monthly fee, which we can provide as a package. So yearly fee, or if you want 3, 5, 10 years, if you get in touch with your sales manager, you can work with him a specific project pricing if needed. So yes, you're gonna have to pay what, it's not a license, it's a fee. But if you are using 2N devices, there is no fee. And the VPN is not required as well for making it work. Like I said, the cloud takes care of this VPN. So when you connect to the cloud, it automatically takes care of this and the communication and everything. Do we have any other questions? Do we have anyone from, I can see questions from UAE. So do we have anyone from KSA from Egypt, from Africa, who has like a Nigeria, who has any questions, any interest in this? You can unmute your microphone if you prefer to speak. No more questions. Check the list, see if there is anyone. Okay, I can see some known person. Okay, so I believe there is no
Hello.
question.
Yeah, Taiju here.
Yes.
Hello. Yeah, can you
Yes.
hear me?
Hello. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's regarding the apps like iOS or Android. So that is this two URIs are applicable for that also, right?
Sorry, say again.
Do you have an application for Android and iOS? Why? I
Yeah, of
mean
course.
the application.
The
Yeah.
mobile video application.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it is available.
that
It's on the
is
App Store.
yeah. It's charged €2 per device or how it is.
What do you mean? How it is the protocol using?
I mean, yeah. For that application, any charges are there or it's a free? It's free.
The application is free. The application is free. It's on the App Store. You can right now look at it on your phone and tablet, and it's on the App Store.
Okay.
However, if you want to make a call from the Intercom to the application, this is where you need to go through the cloud to make the configuration first, and you're gonna have 30 days free. But then you have to pay the monthly fee if you want.
Got it. Got it. Yeah, that's what my question is. Okay.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Something interesting to note is that, if, for example, if you have, let's say, a villa, you have an intercom, you have a display, you can combine display plus mobile video on mobile phone, for example, or you can have just the mobile phone, or you can have just the display. So there's a bunch of combination, and from the mobile application, you can definitely call directly the intercom. So if you want to preview the camera at one point, if you want to see what's happening in front of your house, but you can as well call inside the house if you have an answering unit.
And
So say
you will be
you
able to unlock the doors and all through the
yeah,
application.
exactly. And lock the door.
Yeah.
So imagine you're, I don't know, you're at work, you're a little bit delayed, you know, your family is starting to have lunch. You can just call them on the main screen, you know, which could be an indoor view, for example, from 2N, and just, you know, wish them, I don't know, like we say in France, bon
Yeah.
appetit or something like this. There's
Yeah.
plenty of
Got it.
options. It is very calling application.
Yeah, got it. Got it.
Okay. Any more questions? So really
Nothing
think
in
about
the
it.
chat.
Think about the added value of this cloud for your customers. Don't forget that most of the actually added value is free, so we don't invoice it to you. So it would be a shame not to use it and not use those at your advantage to sell more product and more projects. And again,
One more
the mobile
question
application is
just
on the
came in.
cloud. Yes, Lisa. Oh,
Sorry,
on
just
the
one more
chat.
question in the chat. Yeah.
Do 2N devices connect to the internet via Wi-Fi, or we must use a cable? So we have both options, mostly cable. So yeah, for the intercom, we have two options, mostly cable, UTP cable, but we have as well a 4G intercom that works with a SIM card and an antenna. So this one connects directly to the mobile network. As for the screen inside the apartment or inside the house or inside the office, we have as well UTP cable mostly, but we do have as well a Wi-Fi indoor touch, which works on both cable and Wi-Fi. And it is the indoor touch 2.0. And the next iteration of indoor touch, which let's call it indoor touch 3.0, but I'm not sure it's going to be the official name, will have as well Wi-Fi. So it is possible to connect it to Wi-Fi. Okay. Okay. All right. I think, Lisa, that's it for the questions.
Thank you, William, and everyone who joined and stayed with us till the end. William, are we going to be able to share the slides with
Yep,
everyone?
I will share it with you, Lisa, and then you can send it to them, I guess,
Perfect.
the slides in PDF.
Yeah. I will with the recording as well. So you can have the recording and you can share it with your team members as well who missed it. So please stay with us and keep in touch. Please connect with us with My2N NIT. We're here
I was
to
just
support.
getting back to this slide. Don't connect to NIT, connect to me if you have any other question, any projects. We will help you. And if you're not confident selling it, that's okay. We can help you as well at the beginning, and then you'll be very easily confident at some point. Okay. Thank you,
Perfect.
everyone. Thank you, Ingram, for organizing this, and I look
Most
forward to
welcome.
seeing you all.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Thank you.
William, for the wonderful
Bye.
session. Thank you.